Hey guys, your guy John coming at you with another Infinite Magicraid video. On this one, I want to talk about, we have the plus 2% excellent wish. Does it make sense for you? Also, what have I learned since playing Infinite Magicraid, and what has actually been something that I've made a mistake of quite often that I don't want to see you guys make, versus actually one thing that I did inherently pick up on that seems to be working very well for my account. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Before that, we do that though, I do want to have one quick word from our sponsor of today's video, Aptoide. Don't forget, guys, get the AppCoins wallet, download Aptoide, play Infinite Magicraid through Aptoide, or at least make all of your purchases through Aptoide, so that way you get 25% back on all your purchases. So that way you can go ahead and take that money and then put it wherever you want, whether hopefully right back into the game, whatever the case may be. But it's 25%. Definitely don't want to miss out on it. Make sure to do that. Also use my promo code. Everything will be pinned down below. Click the links, activate it, so on and so forth. You get where I'm going with this. Okay, let's get into the rest of the video. So part of what we're going to talk about today is going to actually be the simple fact of the matter of when you are looking at Infinite Magicraid right now, and you're talking about, okay, well, how's the game structured? What's going on with it? So on and so forth. They have started to change a little bit of the dynamics to where now we are getting a lot of these mid-week summon boost or options here. As if anyone actually has any supreme wishes. I don't think anyone does. I mean, I got one. At this point, I'm saving all mine until I get guaranteed. I'm not gonna, I don't care about any of these unless it's the double Lego one, because it just doesn't make sense. Like, they're trying to, too many summoning events way too soon, firing them out there. It's not a good feeling at all. I definitely would pass on this. As you can see here, this only changes your rate up from 10% to 12%. In the grand scheme of things, with how many legendary and epic champions there are, this is not a massive increase at all. The odds of you actually pulling a Lego more so than normal is very slim to none. This is a 100% jabait. Do not summon. All right, next thing I want to talk about is, I can tell you these kinds of things because I myself have messed up my account so bad so many times. And you know the best thing about that with Infinite Magicraid? Even though I keep messing everything up and just go, dang, what am I doing wrong here? It still works out just fine. I still somehow end up with just enough resources to kind of fix things, to get things going. Let's talk about a couple of the mistakes I've made on my account that were pretty massive ones as far as what actually caused me to pretty much, because at this point I'm kind of stunted, right? Stunted wise, because I don't have HP burn. I gotta get some gear, really, is what I'm really like lacking at the moment. To get gear, I kind of need to be able to get some more of these bleed champions really working well to get past ROM 26. It's just one of those situations. But a couple of the quick mistakes I made from the beginning are kind of going to be this as follows. You'll see here, one, I pulled Sully right off the bat. I thought he was going to be a god tier. Yeah, I was wrong. Obviously, we all know this now. I invested way too much time in him and energy, and then I even regressed him. So that was a problem. Next mistake I think I really made in this case, honestly, was I got rid of, or I regressed my Margarita. I think she was still a very good champion to have with her AoE. I think that definitely was very helpful to keep in mind. And then I also got rid of my space in an ode to my Gahana here, which is fine. But with that being said, I probably never should have built them. And I probably never should have even built space because I had already had a Liz. And I honestly think if I were to do this all over again, what I've painted myself into right now is I'm super reliant on Maya, and I've invested so many resources on her that I don't really want to regress her, because I don't want to get all of her exclusives back, right? I've got duplicates into her from some other resource that cannot be returned. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I put way too much stock into Maya that I shouldn't have, right? Not to mention her aura is actually pretty decent too, right? She's got the Recover Horn aura, which is pretty decent. But I painted myself in that picture because I really was relying on her strip and on her heals, when really, had I had just Liz, her healing would have probably been pretty sufficient here, right? And it's just one of those situations where I didn't take full advantage of other kits or champions that I thought would be good. I thought I could figure out what was best, right? In this case, I was wrong. Liz was someone I never invested in that I 100% should have invested in. And the other thing I found very quickly in the beginning of the game is it's really hard to do these champion skills. Like getting these skills is not easy, guys. This is not for the faint of heart. It takes a long time. It's a big grind to get all of these legendary skills. And as you can see here, we have 5 champions that are fully skilled out, and then almost a 6th one here. We're 4 skills away, but that's pretty astronomical. Whereas had I focused on epics, like I still have a crap ton of epic skill tomes, and that's after I've converted at least 30 of these, right? So if I would have done this properly and went with like a Liz, Wim when I got him, Reeves, had I focused more on Reeves instead of Holder, I think I'm gonna do a video talking about that actually, because that was a very impactful insight. But then even coming down here to getting like even a Frey would have been fine had I not had like Zaya, right? I got lucky with Zaya, but Frey is one that I seem to pull a lot often, right? He would have been a very good one just to invest in. But that's where I think a big bulk of my problems were. Not to mention, I got rid of Lester several times. And this guy, I never really understood what he does. And his stuff is huge. And he's got Bird. And this was a huge mistake for me, passing him up. And honestly, I could probably build him right now and he would be super impactful. The problem is I just don't have the resources. I'm pitch and held into a corner. So I can't build my Lester, but he would be perfect. And I didn't even think about like what all he actually can bring to the table, right? We'll see what actually happens when I do get resources. Maybe I'll try using them. But yeah, it's just one of the situations where I think I overplayed, or sorry, not overplayed. I think I underplayed what my count and what I could do without realizing free to play is not as glamorous as I thought it was going to be. It has been nice that it's not really stressful. Like I don't feel like I've put a lot of money into the game because I haven't put a dime into it. But I do feel like I don't feel as pushed to log in every day or play like I would if I were to have spent loads of money, right? If I was a whale and I was at this point, I'd be pretty upset, right? You'd be pretty upset if you're only at this point in the game and you're a whale. But as a free to play, it's fine. One thing I do want to point out that has been very, very helpful for me is I've been waiting to do all these types of events here until I have like plenty of energy. And I've actually got a very good bank stored up already. As you can see here, I already have 5K stored, plus I'm at 1K. So I actually have 6K energy, and I typically try to run my account like this. So that way I can bank all this energy, keep this bank as full as possible. So that way, when we get special events, I can utilize them, right? Like for example, I'm sure we'll get we'll get a double Dragon Cliff drops coming up, right? That's going to be huge. Could you imagine having 5K energy and then being able to run double Dragon Cliffs for the 4-star eggs? Like that's huge. This is going to be really helpful in my case. It's going to be very, very helpful in my account. But that's something that I personally have done well. But I'm not always looking for double Dragon Cliff. What I'm looking for is a lot of times there's going to be some sort of challenge Marius, right? We're going to get that one. I'm not going to get hoodwinked and start on Thursday. I'm going to wait until the double and then pop it off then. But those types of events are very, 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 very helpful, and stockpiling all that energy is going to be huge because it seems to be just getting a champion to A5 works fine. Gear seems to be not as impactful, we're going to say, as what the A5 does. I don't know. It's kind of weird how these stats stack. I could be a little off on that one. I think once I pass level 26 on the dungeons, I think that's where I'm going to be off. I think, because at that point, I don't think it matters if it's A5. I think at that point, it matters what type of gear you have, what stats you got, if you get good rolls or bad rolls. But yeah, I don't know. We're going to see what happens. I'm going to keep trying to push the game, obviously, as far as I can until I finally get tired of it. But as of right now, I'm still having fun with it. We're going to play with it. Definitely make sure you guys are downloading the app through Aptoid. It's going to help you out. Like I'm not saying this because it helps me out. I'm saying this because I want you guys to use that and get stuff back, right? Like, because it's still more points than you get back with Google Play. So definitely well worth it, right? Well worth it. It doesn't work on just this game. That's the biggest takeaway. Like you can use it on Ace, you can use it on Diablo Immortal, you can use it on all these other games. Well worth it. But yeah, anyways, I just don't want to see everyone like waste their money. And I'm not going to waste everyone's time trying to make content on a game that I'm not enjoying, right? We're definitely not going to do that. We are getting close though to, I got to figure out something for progression, because I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a lull where I'm basically trying to upgrade champions and food, and I just can't beat it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. If you guys have a good suggestion of who I should be using to beat Rum 26, I would love to hear it. Obviously, you guys can see the box of the champions I have. If there's a champion I should have invested in, like, give me a full lineup and I'll test it. I don't even care how bad it is. We'll try one full lineup, because that's how like broken and busted and defeated I feel about it. Like, we'll do it. We'll do it just fine. Yeah, so leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think I should be running for this one, if that's gonna make a big difference, because I need to get 5 to 6 star gear. I just can't stand not having 5 to 6 star gear. It's a joke. It definitely need to be getting it. Not all of it, but at least some of it, just to make that little bit of a difference. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about this a little bit here. You know, maybe vent just a smidge about this +2%, because I just hate these. I hate those. I hate it when they do that. Like, that literally is probably enough to start pushing me away from the game. But and then I also wanted to let you guys know, like, hey, don't make these mistakes. And also, here's one good thing about what I've done on my account, because having all that energy stored up is going to definitely benefit me later on down the road. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.